Dogon and the star that no one could see. Legend versus evidence. High in the sandstone cliffs of Mali lives the Dogon people, custodians of one of Africa's most intricate cosmologies. Their rituals, dances, and stories weave a tapestry where myth and astronomy appear to merge. But at the heart of their tradition lies a puzzle that has fascinated scholars, mystics, and skeptics alike: a hidden star, invisible to the naked eye, that seems to orbit the brightest star in our night sky, Sirius. The Dogon name it Po Tolo, the seed star. Dense, heavy, so small it cannot be seen. They say it completes its orbit around Sirius every 50 years. To modern ears, this sounds remarkably like the description of Sirius B, a white dwarf star, first detected by Western astronomers in the mid-19th century, but never visible without a telescope. When French anthropologists Marcel Griol and Germaine Dieterlen documented Dogon traditions in the 1930s and 40s, they were astonished. Their informant, the elder Ogotameli, spoke of Sirius not as a single star, but as a system. He described Po Tolo with uncanny precision: small, incredibly heavy, the center of the system's gravity, and alongside it, another companion, Ya Tolo, the female star, large but dim. How could this be? A rural community with no telescopes, no scientific instruments, yet holding knowledge that mirrored discoveries only confirmed by astronomers decades earlier. The mystery grew. The Dogon also described rings around Saturn and the 4 major moons of Jupiter, all details that seemed impossible to know through naked eye observation. To some, this was evidence of something extraordinary. Ancient astronaut theorists claimed the Dogon had been visited by beings from Sirius itself, the Nommo, amphibious sky spirits, said to have descended in a spinning vessel, bringing knowledge of the cosmos. Others suggested that the Dogon preserved fragments of a far older, advanced tradition, lost to the rest of humanity but carried forward through myth. These ideas gained worldwide attention with Robert Temple's 1976 book, The Sirius Mystery. Temple argued that the Dogon possessed ancient, possibly extraterrestrial knowledge, woven into their sacred stories. His book ignited debates, conferences, documentaries, casting the Dogon into the spotlight as guardians of an impossible secret. End quote. But the legend does not end there. Critics began to pull apart the story. Anthropologists noted that the Dogon region, far from isolated, had long been connected to traders, missionaries, and colonial administrators. By the early 20th century, the knowledge of Sirius B was already circulating in scientific and even popular writings in France. Could Griol's interpretations, or even his own enthusiasm, have shaped what the Dogon told him? Decades later, anthropologist Walter van Beek returned to the Dogon to test the claims. What he found was sobering. Many Dogon elders had no knowledge of Sirius's companions. Terms like Po Tolo and Ya Tolo were unfamiliar. Some even insisted that these ideas came from outsiders, especially the earlier anthropologists themselves. The supposed astronomical knowledge looked less like ancient revelation and more like a blend of misunderstanding, mistranslation, and cultural exchange. End quote. Another layer complicates the picture. Dogon cosmology is deeply symbolic. Their creation myths describe the world as born from a cosmic egg, twins and opposites governing balance, spirals mapping the path of life. To interpret these symbols as literal astronomy may be to miss their purpose entirely. The invisible star may not be a white dwarf at all, but a metaphor, an unseen principle of life, weight, and hidden power. Modern astronomy, meanwhile, continues to refine our knowledge of Sirius. Sirius A, a bright main sequence star, and Sirius B, a white dwarf, dance around each other every 50 years, just as the Dogon claimed. For a time, scientists even suspected a third star, Sirius C, but today the evidence for it is weak at best. So what are we left with? A riddle balanced between wonder and skepticism. Did the Dogon truly hold secrets of the stars? passed down through generations? Or did European science and anthropological zeal bleed into their myths, reshaping them into something uncanny? The truth may never be fully resolved. But perhaps that is the deeper lesson. Myths are not static. They live, they breathe, they adapt. Whether or not the Dogon ever knew of Sirius B, their stories remind us of humanity's eternal urge to connect earth and sky, to see in the stars not just points of light, but mirrors of our own meaning. And in that, the Dogon remain not a mystery to solve, but a voice in the long universal conversation between humankind and the cosmos.